What's up, guys? It's your boy MP13 coming at you with another video. I just wanted to talk about the trade today that everybody's talking about, the whole DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard trade. Don't forget also Danny Green and Jakob Poeltl and the first round pick was in it too. Um, so I saw and actually heard on the radio today a couple blasphemy comments and people calling the Raptors especially stupid. And I don't think they really know basketball that much, or they really thinking out the box on this. So let's go over the whole Spurs part of it. Makes sense, of course, for the simple fact Kawhi Leonard was not going to keep playing on that team. So it's easily agreed upon of why the Spurs would do such a thing. So, granted, DeMar DeRozan to me is actually an upgrade to Kawhi Leonard from Kawhi Leonard because at the end of the day, Kawhi Leonard wasn't going to play. So you're going to fill in an empty space. So at the end of the day, you're going to have a guy sitting at home. So DeMar DeRozan is a huge upgrade. I heard the craziest thing today on the radio. Somebody actually said DeMar DeRozan is not even the top 40 player in the NBA. I don't understand how that's possible when he's the top 5 shooting guard in the NBA right now. Just because the man can't shoot threes all that great and they've gotten bounced out the playoffs a few times does not equate that he is trash, okay? Not everyone's a Golden State Warriors. Not everyone can shoot threes like that. So in that perspective, DeMar DeRozan is still a solid starter. He's an all-star. He's pretty much, I don't know what everyone considers a superstar, but he's superstar-ish. Definitely better than Kyle Lowry. So the Spurs upgraded because they were not going to get anything out of Kawhi this year. The only unfortunate loss a lot of people overlooking is Danny Green. Danny Green is a top three-point shooter. He's a great spot shooter. He's a shot creator. He's also a very underrated defensive player. So Danny Green is their real big loss. They shouldn't have had to give off Danny Green for the trade to happen, but it's probably the only way it was going to happen. The other thing is Jakob Poeltl just adds to the 5 now big men they have on the Spurs. Especially in today's league, it's all small ball. I don't know how he's really going to help them. But they were, it's mainly Kawhi for DeMar. Those other pieces were just add-ons, but Danny Green's a big loss. But again, the Spurs have Gasol, Aldridge, Davis Bertans, Joffrey Laverne, if I said his name right, and now Jakob Poeltl. So now they got 5 big men. They're going to need to fill, to get rid of somebody eventually. So it's just probably another way for the trade to happen. And then you have a first round pick, which is always a plus. So the Spurs, a lot of people say, oh, the Spurs got to steal, or some people say DeMar stinks, so the Spurs, I don't know what they were thinking. I've even heard comments they couldn't get much. The Lakers were not going to get rid of Kyle Kuzma in the trade. That's the only really true valuable piece that the Lakers could have offered. You don't want Rondo. The other guys that are signing for 1 year. That's for the LeBron James project. Okay, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball were probably been the only pieces that were tradable. And I'm sorry, Lonzo Ball, it hasn't developed yet enough. His jump shot is still broken. And Brandon Ingram, he comes and goes. And Kyle Kuzma, they were not going to get rid of. He would have been the one standout piece in that trade. On top of that, why would the Spurs trade to a rival? That's a team they're going to have to see 3 or 4, maybe more times a year. So it wasn't benefiting them to help the Lakers build another super team in their conference. So what they do, just ship them east. Not even that, they ship them all the way even out the country. So Spurs definitely made a smart move. If you think it's a bad trade for them, you don't know basketball. Because DeMar DeRozan is still going to be a cornerstone for them. He is somewhat of a franchise player. He's a very good player. Okay, that's like I said, Danny Green is going to be a big loss. But the Spurs do need another wing player. Because Rudy Gay and DeMar DeRozan won't be enough. So it was the obvious reasons why the Spurs should trade Kawhi. Okay, and unfortunately, it stinks when you got to get rid of a top 2, 5, whatever you want to call him, Finals MVP for a guy who's never even seen the finals. But DeMar DeRozan is no scrub. Okay, stop calling him a scrub. He's a top player in the game. So now the whole point, people calling about the Raptors are stupid. Now you're not looking at the box if you're calling the Raptors move stupid. And here's why. This is actually a very good move by the Raptors. First off, they keep getting bounced. Yes, LeBron's in the West. But do you really think that the Raptors were going to win a championship this year? Or even maybe make it to the finals with the team they had? A lot of people weren't even giving them the benefit of a doubt. So they didn't even think they could beat the Boston Celtics. So why delay a rebuilding process if that is what they're doing? So they may have expedited that process, granted. But you're not going to win a championship with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They did not work well together. They're two ISO players. They're not really knockdown shooters. They like to ISO and get in the lanes a lot. So it wasn't working. It just wasn't working. So they had to make a move. Now, obviously, I'm sure they would have rather got rid of Kyle Lowry. But the Spurs wouldn't have made that trade for Kyle Lowry. So it's unfortunate. DeRozan's in his feelings, and he has all the right to be upset when he's being told he's going to be kept, and then they trade him. But it was a good move. They had a choice. I was going to say they had no choice, but it was a good move, okay? Because, again, they weren't going to win a championship, right? So eventually you'll have to rebuild. That is if they're going to do that. So this is my other reason why it's a good trade. Salary cap. They got rid of the salary. Granted, they're only going to be renting Kawhi, but they got rid of DeMar DeRozan's contract. So, I mean, in that sense, it's also maybe a good financial move. Now they have opportunities. Not only that, this is a theory now, more or less. But this is another option now the Raptors have that nobody's even talked about. What if they just got Kawhi to trade him? So now they have a piece that other teams gonna want. And this is where I think they should really do, and what I anticipate might just happen. They could pull one on everybody. Trade Kawhi to the Los Angeles Clippers, not the Lakers. The Lakers will not give up enough for the trade to the Spurs. What makes you think they're going to trade enough pieces to the Raptors? So they won't. So Jerry West needs a franchise player in LA, and the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard has specified neither team. He said Lakers, but he hasn't ruled out the Clippers. He wants to play for Los Angeles. So the best move for the Raptors might be to actually trade Kawhi. Use him a few of the months, see if he'll stay. I'm sure they think because Paul George stood in OKC, they could do the same thing. I don't think so. Kawhi Leonard seems to be the biggest diva in the NBA right now. He only wants to play for LA. So the Raptors didn't really lose because now you have a piece that you can trade to the Clippers because the Clippers and Lakers are going to be fighting over this man. But if you can beat them to the punch and trade him to the Clippers, now you can get a couple of decent vets from the Clips and get some rookie players. You can get Mbah Moute. He just went there. Patrick Beverly, Gallinari. They got some pieces over there. They're not going to make the playoffs, and they're not the greatest players, but you can actually get some pieces for him now over there. You can pick up a couple of guards. You can pick up a forward. You can get some draft picks from the Clippers. The Clippers will be more willing to give up more than the Lakers would have from the get-go, from the beginning of Kawhi wanting to go to LA. So if you now have this piece that you now negotiate with the Clippers to trade, that's going to screw over the Lakers. And so now you also spread it out where now Kawhi is not on the Lakers. You won't have another super team in the West. And it evens everything out. So the Raptors can actually play Los Angeles Lakers. So honestly, it's a rental piece. You don't always see success with that. Paul George stood in OKC. But at the end of the day, you have to make a decision. It's a huge risk. But who say it won't pay off? What if they actually happen to get to the finals? What if Kawhi actually plays and they actually get to the finals? Maybe then they could persuade him to stay. So I don't think so. But so at the end of the day, it wasn't a bad trade. It wasn't a stupid trade for the Raptors. DeMar DeRozan, granted, could have probably retired in Toronto. And I know right now he's probably pissed he didn't sign with LA because those are one of the teams that he was considering going to before re-signing with the Raptors. But at the end of the day, now the Raptors have a trading piece. Now they have a franchise player. It might be only for a year, but they also now got rid of a 4-year DeMar DeRozan contract. So at the end of the day, both teams actually benefited. Believe it or not, both teams benefited. So again, I'm got a theory with this Clippers thing, but don't sleep on those Clippers because it's still a Los Angeles team. So, and they still gonna have money, and they still got Jerry West in the office. So, anything is possible. But Spurs won big. Now they got a guy for another 3 years that they could rely on. DeMar isn't happy, but he will eventually be happy. He's playing with a great coach, a great system, guaranteed playoff spot if they all just play and the team stays healthy. I definitely see the Spurs in the playoffs now. People talking they won't even make the playoffs without Kawhi playing. Now they got DeMar. So it was a great trade. Again, people saying DeMar DeRozan is not a top player, top 20, 30. You can put him on top 10, 20, all right, whatever. But to say he's a not top 30 player, that's crazy. And, they definitely got to upgrade. You got a guy that wasn't going to play. Now you got a stud that was playing in the playoffs last year. And that's the other thing, too, to note. A lot of people are like, Kawhi's the second greatest player. How is Kawhi second greatest player? Did he play last year? Has he played in a year and a half almost now? Come on. It's going to be a while before we see Kawhi in a uniform, and it's going to that'll be a good 16 months almost. So I don't think Kawhi is a top player right now, because how can you say that he hasn't played? You got LeBron, Durant, Curry. Those are the top players. Anthony Davis. So Kawhi Leonard maybe be a top 5 player, but he's not the top 2 anymore because he hasn't played. So, again, there's a lot of risk. Again, Kawhi hasn't played. Not both players are happy. But at the end of the day, DeMar will find happiness in San Antonio. Kawhi will eventually get to a Los Angeles team, but who knows? And the other thing, too, I wanted to add, Kawhi took the title for the biggest diva in the NBA. Because, man, you couldn't just finish the year. You couldn't just finish one more year in the contract. Then you could go wherever you want. This whole I want to go to the team to be traded. It's one thing you're a free agent. You go where you want to make yourself happy and your family happy. It's another thing to be in your job, telling them you want to leave before your time's up. You signed a contract. Abide by the contract. But granted, don't be Isaiah Thomas and give your last hip and miss your sister's funeral to eventually be traded or waived. But you're still under the year. You still have another year under your contract. Isaiah Thomas didn't. So, actually, no, he did. I'm bugging. But at the end of the day, look, it's a good trade for both teams, and I think it'll work out in the long run for both teams. And again, the Raptors were going to have to rebuild eventually, so they might have just expedited their process. That's all. At this point now, I'm just rambling on. So tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you agree with me. Do you think both teams won the trade, or do you think I'm stupid and the Raptors are stupid? What do you think? Again, you got to be open-minded with these kind of things. And the Raptors GM, he did what he had to, I guess. You gotta try to chase the big players. But I feel sorry for DeMar. But such is business, man. Such is business. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think, and holla back at your boy. Laters.